the past 2 years, we at the Ministry of Education have been further inspired by the President's far-sighted vision of a highly educated and motivated workforce, driving industrialized Ghana, indeed a world where the graduate's mindset need not be what job my nation can give to me, but what job I can offer to my neighbor. How I, a product of tertiary education, equipped with the right curriculum and the right skill set, can add to the rich stock of Ghana's job openings and as well activate other idle hands. The ministry responded to this in 3 ways: revitalizing technical education and vocational training as a major agenda in the education reform process toward job creation, giving our new technical universities a narrow agenda of sticking to their core mandate and getting immersed in industry. Finally, developing an action plan for tertiary education to actively engage industry. The latter agenda we prosecuted by first bringing together at a special summit last month some 150 carefully selected captains of industry, academics, representatives of regulatory bodies, policymakers, the public and private sector, and so on and so forth, plus a good number of experts from other parts of Africa and beyond. The agenda was to collectively think through the crisis of unemployment and emerge with an action plan for an academia-industry collaboration. That summit, which took place last month, was planned and executed hand-in-hand with the Ministry for Business Development. The summit helped to explore the various shades of collaboration between academia, industry, and enterprise development, and as a collateral, it enabled a rare examination of the state of research industry linkages within Ghana's universities. With this agenda, where we inaugurate entrepreneurship clubs in universities, opens another chapter in institutional collaboration between the Ministry of Education and the Ministry for Business Development. In the past 15 years or more, entrepreneurship development within academic curricula has been introduced in several universities across board. Courses have been designed and taught in business schools within universities across the continent. And even more importantly, have been the inclusion of entrepreneurship as a required course for graduation, alongside other courses considered critical in making of a versatile graduate capable of taking his or her destiny into his own hands in the 21st century. Additionally, offices and centers of innovation have been established in several universities in Africa, and added to the portfolio of key officers of the university is the Office of a Pro-Vice Chancellor for Research, Innovation and Development. But there is something more. Not only have universities discovered entrepreneurship and innovation as formidable ingredients in curriculum development and program offering for students, entrepreneurship training is being offered to students, faculty, and various levels of leadership in universities, from heads of department, deans to presidents of universities. But also imagine on the horizon are whole universities dedicated to entrepreneurship. Universities of Entrepreneurship Development are sprouting in parts of the Western world, and proposals are underway for this to be launched in Africa, in Ghana, for that matter. And while this takes place, government decided to dedicate one ministry to business development to signal the significance of the art of mastering courage to start and sustain a business in a growing competitive business environment. At the summit we held last month, we reflected over a rather complex problem confronting most development nations: how to confidently put idle hands of graduates to work. We were mindful of the huge threat unemployment poses to society, the economy, and to global security. It was indeed gratifying to note during our various deliberations that the ingredients for enterprise development through academic industry collaboration are not completely missing in Ghana's academic practice and policies. The fundamentals of industry engagement, collaboration, support systems, industrial internships, careers, and placement facilities are all present in Ghanaian public and private sector universities and some technical universities to various degrees. But these need to be refined, sustained, and more firmly anchored in respective institutions. Highlights of our deliberations at the conference included various reports on the innovative component of skills training within 3 important government agencies: the National Service Scheme, the National Builders Corps, and the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Plan, located in the Ministry of Business Development. The idea in all these projects has been to utilize available opportunities to pilot skills development and enable smooth transitions into the world of work after internships. While a set of recommendations and an action plan are being separately submitted, one would like to highlight a few important observations and conclusions made at the conference. The need for practice-oriented and student-centered teaching and pedagogies, critical thinking, leadership skills, problem-solving propensities, thinking on one's feet, and emotional intelligence. In a world where the few jobs available are likely to be taken over by artificial intelligence and an army of robots by 2030, Africa will be the biggest loser if these threats are not anticipated and an agenda for job creation vigorously prosecuted. Mr. Chairman, we at the Ministry of Education are overjoyed to partner the Ministry of Business Development to inaugurate the Student Enterprise Initiative within tertiary education institutions as part of the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Plan. Congratulations, Ministry of Development. Congratulations, the business world within tertiary education. And thank you very much. Thank you.